This is just a quick video for anyone wondering about ECUmaster Classics, what they look like inside. They require eight security bit screws. They've got this sort of security pattern that you need. You need these special. They're a 6-star with a little hole in the head to get them off. It's a little bit of a pain, and unfortunately, they do put this nice little warranty sticker here. Now, mine is out of warranty, and the ECU is quite frankly useless to me currently, thanks to the brilliant design that they have of their USB ports. So they have these lovely free floating pins. You can see that mine are quite damaged. It's been to an ECU, it's been to a tuner a few times now. It's had this rubber plug-in, some dodgy cables and whatnot, and unfortunately the ECU is extremely difficult to connect to. It's very intermittent, and it has cost me about $1,600 in wasted tuner fees. So it's been to a tuner once, and I had to pay $600 to that tuner for all the time that they wasted trying to get it to work. And then it went back another time, and they charged me $900 for a full tune. That is not right, and I'm going to have to go and send it somewhere to get it retuned again, because that some issues were solved on the tune, but clearly a lot of time was still spent trying to mess around with it. I thought I had fixed up the pins, but unfortunately a new connector is going to have to be put in. Now I have some soldering experience, and we can see the two soldering points for this connector are just here and here. But in case anyone was wondering what these look like, there are literally no videos anywhere on the internet for what these look like. I assume because nobody wants to pull them apart. Maybe nobody needs to pull them apart. Maybe I'm the first person with this problem. Yes, you can send it to your local ECUmaster distributor to repair it. I don't know how much that costs. I don't know how long that takes, but probably a lot. Don't really know. Don't really care to find out. I'm going to do it myself. I'll take this off so you can see what it looks like on the other side. This is what they look like on the other side. You have your connectors. We can see our port here. It's worth noting that I am grounded. You don't want to be touching this not being grounded, of course. It's quite a bit of money to just piss in the wind due to a static problem. Yeah, so this is the port. I'm going to be doing some research to try and find another port to replace this with, preferably one that has a standard configuration. Yeah, one that doesn't have these stupid free-floating pins that can easily be bent. A more traditional style with the horizontal board will be preferable. So I'll give that a go, and see you shortly. I've gone and gotten a replacement USB-A PC port, as they call them. It's the same format. It's got the 2 side pins and the 4 horizontal connector pins. You can see this one is a much better design. Does not have the floating pins and has the center board. And we're going to try and put this in, and hopefully it will be a good, adequate replacement. It cost me $2 from JCar, a $2 replacement part that has a far better resilience to bent pins. Okay, we now have a standard USB A port. Excuse my pretty piss poor soldering, but I'm going to put it together. I've just used some basic flux paste and was able to do it at 380 for most of it. You will need a solder sucker for this, or you will be in for a lot of pain. That's my advice. Okay, let's put it back together, plug it in, and see if it connects. Well, car starts fine. ECU's there. Now we're going to make an attempt at plugging it into the laptop. We'll see if it works. Okay, we are in the car. I have my USB cable plugged in with the ECU back in there. Now it is the moment of truth to plug it into the USB port, and we'll see. Oh, yeah, I gotta turn the ignition. And there we are, connected. USB port replaced.